So we're going to now do the public comments on this item. Our first commenter is Allison Gallagher, and I would have line up behind her Vivian Malolulu and Richard Foss. Welcome.
Good. Ready? Okay. Good evening, President Oakley, members of the board. My name is Allison Gallagher. I'm here tonight on behalf of Assembly Member Patrick O'Donnell, who is unable to join us due to being in Sacramento. I passed around a letter earlier today that he submitted to the trustees, but in brief, Assemblymember O'Donnell, since being elected to public office, has been an advocate for project labor agreements such as these, and is here today in strong support of the agreement before you. Sorry, Siri went off. In adopting this agreement, you are ensuring that a qualified, skilled, and local emphasis on local workforce is a part of Long Beach City College's upcoming construction projects, and that you're leading to an optimum productivity and a boost to our local economy by generating local construction-related jobs. In the strongest possible terms, Assemblymember O'Donnell urges you to support this agreement as proposed before you. It's good not only for City College, but for our region. Thank you.
Thank you. Vivian, congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the board and staff. I am very excited to soon be joining you as the newest member of the Long Beach Community College District Board of Trustees. I look forward to working with all of you closely to help make our college even better than what it already is for students, staff, and our community. I came this evening to say a few words on behalf of our esteemed faculty, of which I am a very proud member, and also to address the issue that our bargaining unit has been fighting so hard for. I would like to urge you this evening to look closely at our budget to identify areas which could be used to provide our faculty the wages that are commensurate with the value that we all add to our district. Additionally, just keep in mind that an experienced and hardworking laborer is invaluable and worth every penny of their wages. Unfortunately, however, our society has too often deprived educators of the payment they are due for the work that they perform. Our students, many of whom at some point in their lives will teach themselves, deserve to be taught by professors who are compensated fairly. Our college district has the means to pay its teachers, its teaching unit more competitive wages, and I would like to challenge this board with all humility to step up and do so. I know it can be done, and I have faith that you can do it. With regard to the project labor agreement, on tonight's agenda, I am grateful that this board is considering approving it, especially with a strong local hire provision that supports Long Beach area workers and our local economy. Thank you for providing leadership on this very important policy issue. In closing, I would like to add, tonight I am proudly wearing many hats in this meeting. In addition to the everyday hats that I wear as a wife and mother, I am also a faculty member, sadly for just a few more weeks, proud journalism faculty member, let me add that to our students who are here, and I'm also a very strong supporter of our local labor movement. I think without it, we are not what we would be and what we could be. LBCC truly is a very special place, and I'm very, very proud, and I believe that our better days are in front of us. Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Richard Foss.
Richard Foss. How do you follow that? I mean, geez, I should just sit down now. I'm kidding. My name is Rick Foss. I'm a business representative for the Sheet Metal Workers Local 105 in Southern California. 5,500 members, several hundred live in the city of Long Beach. Some of them attended Long Beach City College. I think this is a great opportunity by passing this community and student workforce agreement tonight. I don't think I need to preach to the choir. It sounds like the motion's made, seconded, and carried. I stand here in support of the sheet metal workers, in support of this community agreement, and I ask you to I urge you to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. On this topic, our last two speakers are Tommy Favre, if he's here. I didn't see him. I talked to him on the phone today. And
He's on the other side.
here he comes. Whoops.
President Otto, while Tommy is coming, I'd like to recognize we have a celebrity in the House, Commissioner Rich Steins, who sits on the Harbor Commission. Thank you for being here, who's a strong supporter of project labor agreements.
Tommy, welcome.
Thank you, Board President. My name is Tommy Falvai. I represent International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 11. And by the way, we have you have the overflow room that's open over here. We got a lot of our members over there wearing these shirts, supporting this great agreement that was negotiated with the Long Beach City College staff and the Los Angeles and Orange County Building Trades. I just wanted to echo on a lot of the other speakers that we represent over 700 of our members that live in Long Beach alone. And we're going to take advantage of the MC3 curriculum that's going to be implemented here at Long Beach City College, because it's all about entry-level jobs, giving opportunities for younger youth to come into a trade that's going to be a long-time career ahead of them. Back in the days, we always talked about mechanical was going to be around for a long time, but electrical is going to be around for even longer. So we look forward to, we urge the board to pass this community student workforce project agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron Miller. And finally, on this subject, Ron Miller.
Good evening, President Eloy and staff, and most important, the trustees. I just want to commend you guys on your foresight to see the partnership for what it's going to be with the LA Orange County Building Trades and all its affiliates. I represent 140,000 hardworking men and women in LA and Orange County. We spend $200 million a year training apprentices in the state of California, $1.3 billion nationwide. So you're entering into a partnership with one of the best, and in most cases, one of the only construction training apprenticeship programs in the United States in this area. So I want to commend your staff, especially Anne-Marie Gable, for her expertise and professionalism in the negotiations. She's tough. And I'll say that again, she's tough. So we think, yeah, give her a hand. You could have saved money on the attorney and just sent her. But I lost my train of thought now. But we're going to make this partnership everything that we've committed to. And we're very proud to have our MC3 curriculum at your campus. It's going to give a lift up to individuals from the community to get them ready for an apprenticeship program. And we have nothing but the finest apprenticeship programs. And we're going to put a lot of local people to work, as we are doing in the Port of Long Beach and the Port of Los Angeles and with the City of Long Beach. So it's nothing but up, and beyond from here. And we look forward to working for you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all the public comment on this item. We'll take it back behind the rail, and I would invite comments from the Board of Trustees.
Trustee Otto, if I may.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, President Otto, staff, members of the public. I'm looking at this great audience and who's here with us tonight. I see a very impressive who's who, representatives from the various individual unions of our local Building and Construction Trades Council. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge you guys for taking the time this evening from your working families and your work to come down to our board meeting to share your support for our effort to institute a formal project labor agreement that will assure not only top quality, grade A work from your well-trained and experienced workforce, but it would also create important jobs for the residents of our local community. Could those of you audience members who are here from the building trades representing the Building and Construction Trade Council unions, please stand for a quick moment so we can all see who is in attendance. There's an overflow room, and I think we need another overflow for our overflow room. I bet you that one is also packed. So I want to thank you. It's definitely a very impressive turnout. Thank you for coming this evening. We're looking forward to working with you and your membership on this very important partnership. Thank you also for your strong support of the Long Beach Community College District's very important $850 million construction bond measure that is on the ballot this June. Together, we're going to make a difference for our community. I'm excited about the district's effort this evening to support our community and student workforce agreement with the Los Angeles Orange County Building and Construction Trades Council. It is a strong win-win for the district and our community. Mr. President, I would like to urge a yes vote from you and our colleagues for this very important agreement. Thank you.
Trustee Archuleta.
Yes, thank you. I too want to commend our district as well as all of the members of labor organizations on this very comprehensive document that was put together. I think our apprenticeship program is excellent. I think the local labor hire is really critical to our area, so that I am total support of. However, I do have one comment under Article 2, Section 2.10, starting on page 3, when we talk about the term referring to minority-owned businesses, and then it defines and describes the different ethnicities. And as we get down to Hispanic Americans, and we define Hispanic Americans as persons with origins from Latin America, South America, Portugal, and Spain. I would like to respectfully ask, that we modify that to be inclusive of Mexican Americans, because we have many Mexican Americans that were born in this country that are second and third generation, whose origins do not begin in Mexico. And I would also like to ask that we include Mexico, as Mexico is not located in either Central America or South America, but is part of North America. So if we can make those adjustments, I think this would make it a stronger document. I want to make sure that we are inclusive of Mexican Americans who were born here in this country, as well as of Mexicans who originate from Mexico. Again, because Mexico is not in Central America and it's not part of South America. So if we can get it to read inclusive of Mexican Americans and persons with origin in Mexico, Central America, and South America.
Is there that's a proposed amendment? Is there a second?
That's my proposed amendment.
Second.
Second by Trustee Baxter. I'm going to ask a question of our VP for Administrative Services and Chief Negotiator in this matter, Anne Marie Gable. What was the intention when you drafted this document with regard to Mexican Americans and people of Mexican descent?
The intent was for inclusion of it, so I know this language kind of derived from various different agreements, and a lot of it is, for lack of a better term, boilerplate language. So, but the intent all along was to include Mexican American. There was no meaning to leave them out.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments on the amendment?
I want to thank Trustee Archuleta for bringing this up, and I'm glad that she had a good geography teacher.
That's right.
Okay. If there are no more comments, let's vote on the amendment. Roll call vote, please. Did I give you enough time there? Probably not. Okay.
But we'll do. Irma Archuleta?
I just want to clarify that this is inclusive of the amendment, yes?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg? Doug Otto?
Aye.
And Sunny Zia? Aye.
The amendment, the document, or the motion is amended, I should say, with the addition of those words to section 2.10. Any other comments about?
I just had one, please, President Otto. I am very much in favor of this agreement, obviously, and I want to thank Ron Miller for coming and meeting with me and explaining the entire situation, because even though I was a member of the union, teachers union for 20 years, I really didn't know that much about the building trades union. But it's one of my goals to get as much Long Beach companies, Long Beach area companies, and workers involved with the college. And I appreciate you all for bringing this up and bringing it to fruition.
If there are no other comments, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
We already did a vote.
Pardon?
Yeah, we only voted on the amendment.
The amendment.
Okay, you didn't include in? Okay, very good. You can wrap them in. But
It's having a
Okay.
conflict, so.
It's having a moment of.
I will call the roll, but you won't see the second motion here.
Okay.
It's Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Absolutely. Yes, of course. With pleasure.
So the Board of Trustees has authorized the Vice President of Administrative Services or designee to enter into and execute the Community and Student Workforce Project Agreement as submitted and now amended. Passed unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here, and you don't have to stay, but I must tell you the rest of the meeting is really fascinating. And yeah. Help us out on that bond now. Bond coming up June 7th. Yes.
So we'll go back to that.
Yes. Okay. Did you get it fixed? Have you had enough time? Okay, good. Yes. So now we're going to return to item 2.9, public comment on agenda items, except those on 8.2. We have 4 comments on agenda item 8.1. I would call Catherine Jennings first, followed by Janae Hund, followed by Devin Orsini, Osiri, and finally David Sens. In that order, please come forward.
Good evening, Board. The Board is proposing to change the language of the reserves from, quote, reserves to, quote, unassigned fund balances. I find this a curious twist to the language, and the only reason I can see for seeking this change is to make the language less onerous, perhaps for the purpose of obfuscation. But changing the language does not change the problem. Currently, the reserves are well over the board-mandated 5.5%, and are currently in the 20% range. In fact, according to the latest figures from the Chancellor's office, the current reserves are now 28 million. The district has a curious repeated history with regards to the budget. Every year we start out with doom and gloom, then as the budget discussions progress, the budget news grows darker and darker. But then as the actuals come out, there is suddenly more money than ever imagined left over and unused, which then goes to feed the ever-growing reserves. Everyone here is familiar with the growth of these reserves. You've seen the charts, especially since 2011, when programs were discontinued and staff and faculty were laid off. Well, I guess it makes sense if you fire dozens of people, the surplus is likely to increase. So we continue to build a very large surplus of funds rather than passing it on to the LBCC community. This is a non-profit institution, not a business from which many of you come. Yet you run it as a business, except when it comes to taking care of your most valuable asset, your employees. While I know one-time funding cannot be put towards long-term salary, it makes little sense to me that we continue to have millions of dollars left over, and if we were to really figure out what we value, we might create a budget that places our faculty on a better footing with surrounding colleges rather than still at or near the bottom. Yes, even after last year's raise, which came only after several years of givebacks from us, we are still behind our comparable colleges. We also play a game at this college. How many times over the last several negotiating seasons have we had to go to impasse in order to come to resolution? If you want to improve morale, let's work to come to an agreement. CCA has come down significantly from our starting point, while the district has moved very little. The district has the money to invest in faculty. Please do so without creating more Sturm and Drang for our college. Thank you.
Good evening again, Board of Trustees, administration, community members, students, staff, and all of you faculty out there in your red shirts, just like mine, educating our future. As you know, I spoke to you an hour ago before your closed session, and I'm now speaking to you about agenda item 8.1, the board policy on budget preparation. While I realize this is only a policy, I too want to highlight this excerpt from the board policy. Unrestricted general fund unassigned fund balance reserves shall be no less than 5.5% of unrestricted general fund expenditures. The minimum of 5.5% equates to just under $6 million. Yet, the district reserve amount, according to the last actuals, is just under $26 million. This means that our existing reserves are about $20 million above the board policy of 5.5%. On one hand, that shows the fiscal prudence of our administration, but on the other hand, this shows fiscal irresponsibility and not taking care of LBCC employees by sharing the wealth of our district. There is no excuse for longtime faculty to be among the lowest paid of our comparable colleges, especially when the district clearly has the money to take care of its employees. Our president is the highest paid of all our comparable college presidents. Stop hoarding the money and bring equity to the faculty. CCA humbly asks the district to do the right thing. Honor your own policy and maintain the minimum reserves of 5%, 5.5%, and use some of the excessive reserves and the $6 million in ongoing funds to share with the faculty, the very people who deliver student success at LBCC. The learning conditions of our students are the working conditions of our faculty.
Turn it back on. You're about done?
Yep.
Okay.
Win for the faculty, win for students, win for the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Osiri?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the time to speak to the board. My name is Devin Osiri. I'm the political director of the County Federation of Labor, AFL-CIO. I'm here today not only as a product of the community college system myself, but on behalf of the 800,000 working men and women we represent in LA County. I had prepared a statement earlier, but I think everyone knows why I'm here. LA County Federation is strongly supporting the Long Beach Community College Association's bargaining efforts. On agenda item 8.1, we do want to urge you to use any surplus monies towards the full-time faculty staff, the folks that deliver the student success, like myself. Thank you.
Hello, hi. My name is David Sines. I'm currently a student here at Long Beach City College. Right now, I'm a co-chair for Long Beach City College's first annual AIDS Walk. I also am the creator of the LBCC to the City of Downey internship program. I just want to go ahead and thank you all for everything that you do throughout the year. And I also want to go ahead and recognize people like Danny Toe, Pat McKean, Stephen Wallach, Jeff Wheeler, for all the work that they do throughout the year. And with that being said, when I came to the knowledge of, hey, we have $25 million just tucked away somewhere, it didn't really sit well with me. It didn't really make much sense as to why the faculty is being paid less than all the other community colleges in the area. So as a student, it really does not really sit well with me and the other student leaders here on campus. And we are behind the faculty on this because we believe that they should be getting rewarded for all the hard work that they are doing throughout the year. And pretty much wraps it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is 2.10. This is a public hearing on the CHI or CHI LBCC and district initial bargaining proposals. At this time, the public shall have an opportunity to express itself regarding the bargaining proposals as described in agenda items 6.1 and 6.2. I now declare the public hearing open and call for comments on items 6.1 and 6.2. Are there any comments? Hearing none, I declare that the public hearing is closed. We'll move on to presentations. 3.1, Sexual Misconduct, LBCC's Title IX Education Prevention Program. Mr. Oakley, President Oakley, who's going to make that presentation?
I will turn it over to Vice President Gable to make those introductions. Wrong VP. Attention. Figure she'd answer every question.
Do it if you want.
Vice President Peterson.
In honor of this month's sexual violence, sexual harassment awareness campaign, I would like to introduce our Interim Dean of Student Affairs, Alicia Kreisenga.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Board President Otto. The month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This month is dedicated to educating young adults on affirmative consent. Before California enacted Senate Bill 967, no means no was the standard for consent. If your partner said no, then you did not have consent. 2 years ago, no means no was replaced by yes means yes. If you did not hear yes from your partner, then you do not have consent. Colleges and universities are required to educate their students on the new affirmative consent standard. Long Beach City College has been educating our students on the standard by conducting workshops each semester that outlines our protocols if an assault should occur and provides resources both on and off campus. To support Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Long Beach City College has collaborated with Peace Over Violence, Alternatives to Violence, and YWCA to conduct many educational events for our students. At this time, I'd like to introduce Camille Bolton, our Student Support Services Grant Coordinator, and Sylvia Garcia, our Student Conduct Specialist, to inform you about the events we held this month.